Good afternoon, everybody. Shana Tova, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Raleen Marks, your host, bringing you the top stories from Israel and the region every Monday to Thursday on this platform and also on our YouTube channel. You can find us at the Israel Brief, and if you click on the big red subscribe button, you help to take news from Israel out to the masses. But let's take a look at those stories making headlines, and we start off, and it's a whopper of a week, by saying we've done it again. Another weekend, another normalization deal, this time with the Kingdom of Bahrain. It was announced on Friday night that the latest Gulf state to normalize ties with Israel is the Kingdom of Bahrain. Now, news had been leaking out during the afternoon. We were expecting a major announcement by US President Donald Trump, and this came out. And Bahrain will be joining the UAE and Israel as the countries sign the historic Abraham Accords at the White House tomorrow. Prime Minister Netanyahu, with a delegation from Israel, has left and has arrived in Washington in preparation for this historic moment. And it was announced also this past weekend that President Donald Trump has been nominated for a second Nobel Peace Prize for brokering peace between Serbia and Kosovo. But very, very exciting in Israel, and very excited we are for this historic time. And are we seeing shifting sands in the Middle East? Well, we believe so. In fact, it has been quite evident with countries like Oman coming out and giving their blessing, saying that they approve of this normalization deal. And also major news announced that the US president is working on direct flights between Israel and Morocco. There are at least over 1 million descendants living in Israel whose forefathers, ancestors lived in Morocco. So very, very exciting times indeed. Not feeling the happiness are the Palestinians, who have accused the Arab world of betraying them and saying that they declare tomorrow, the 15th of September, to be a day of rage. And it's a great pity, because imagine what could be achieved if all the countries in the region started to work towards mutual cooperation and regional peace and growth. In other major news, while we're discussing the region, Politico magazine, which is a news site, have announced that they have uncovered an Iranian-backed plot to assassinate the US ambassador to South Africa, Lana Marks. This would be in retaliation for the US's alleged assassination of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. And the ambassador is aware of the plot against her life, and is aware that there are groups working in South Africa in clandestine activities. The ambassador was born in South Africa. She speaks fluent Xhosa and Afrikaans and is Jewish by faith. And before she was ambassador from the US to South Africa, the Florida-based designer designed high-end or luxury fashion and handbags. And we wish her continued safety and hope that she remains safe. And the final news story is that Israel will be entering mandatory full lockdown starting on Friday night, just as Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, comes in. This will be a particularly delicate time for us. This is the New Year. This lockdown will last for 3 weeks and encompass Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, and possibly Sukkot, the Feast of the Tabernacles. However, it was announced by the Health Ministry earlier today that if our infection rates come down below 1,000, they will start easing up on the lockdown. And many Israelis are feeling very frustrated, very, very angry that we are in this position. A lot of blame being apportioned to the government and also certain sectors of society. But the reality on the ground is infections have been extremely high, as has the mortality rate. And according to British newspaper The Sun, Israel is the first country to impose a second full national lockdown. And we really, really hope that we get a handle on this virus soon. Last night, in his address to the Israeli people, Prime Minister Netanyahu said, you know, a vaccine is on the way, and only us, only the people can fight and succeed against this virus. So those are the top stories making headlines. All eyes, of course, will be on Washington tomorrow, and we'll bring you the updates as soon as we have them. On a personal note, I have to mention that WITSO, the Women's International Zionist Organization, is represented at this peace signing by our president, Esther Moore. I think we're the only major organization to be invited. An incredible moment for WITSO, an incredible moment for history and for the region and the country. And don't forget, you can check out our content online at www.layoftheland.online. You can read Dave Kaplan's article all about Unite, the UK-based trade union. They are pushing forward an anti-Israel resolution at their meeting today. Will it pass? Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. It's also up on our Facebook page, and while you are there, give us a like, give us a follow, share our content. We really appreciate it when you do. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel at the Israel Brief and follow us on Twitter. You can interact with us as well. We love to hear from you. You can find us at Twitter5. So those are the top stories making headlines. It's been a whopper of a day. I'm Marlene Marks. This is the Israel Brief. We'll chat again tomorrow.